thank you very much for a very entertaining and exciting talk. So, quinine, it's something that is being investigated for a long time already.
Well, quinine was a natural product used to treat malaria, and it's been used for more than a century, but quinine has problems. One of them is some toxicity, and it's been replaced by other compounds of the same class, and we are always aiming for improvements in the structure of the drugs. When the drugs become less active, for instance, due to resistance, then we have to have another drug that is still active. So, in some way, you see, the parasite is still winning. We get another drug, another tool to fight the parasite, and at first it works, but sometime later the parasite manages to circumvent, and by resistance he wins. And then we have to go back and find another weapon and continue. There was some time ago this idea that we could eradicate malaria. The World Health Organization has spent a lot of money in programs to eradicate malaria using artemisinin recently, and in fact malaria decreased, the cases of malaria and the mortality and morbidity by malaria decreased a lot, but this is no, but eradication of malaria is a dream, I can tell you. It is a dream, because even today artemisinins are becoming less active in some areas. For instance, in the Cambodian Thailandia border, there are spots where they are no longer active due to resistance. So we have to be investigating all the time in terms of finding new tools, new effective tools that have to be cheap, that have to be safe, etc.
So chemistry provides a really powerful tool, as we saw in the seminar, to play around and try to get nuances and more efficient drugs.
That's right. Without chemistry it is difficult, because drugs are chemical compounds. So the chemical compounds, one needs to synthesize them. So it all goes down to chemical synthesis. And we need also good ways to synthesize the compounds. So we have to invest in synthetic methodologies, in methods of synthesizing the compounds at a lower cost, and in a greener way. In a greener way means that by using less and less solvents that could be harmful for the environment. We have to look at that as well. So it's efficacy in the synthetic processes. We have to also be careful about the consumption of reagents, the cost of the whole process, and we have to be environmentally friendly in the processes.
So you made a very passionate plea for students and for basic research. Is that something that you care about very passionately, clearly?
Well, I can see that many people are working in research, more and more, which is very, very good. But funding agencies, they tend to favor applied research. If you propose a project and you don't state that there is an application, they don't like to give money. But we also know that if we don't invest in basic research, and basic research is research that searches for details that are perhaps not obviously related to applications at short term. But we need to do that because the big breakthroughs in technology came from knowledge that was basic research, that wasn't meant for any applications. And I think that by having these financing schemes whereby we have to demonstrate an application, we probably are losing efforts that should be dedicated to basic research. I don't mean by this to say that we should only invest in basic research, but there should be a happy medium. Now, the students, why do I ask the students do I try to intervene? Because the students are the future. They will be in the near future, the decision makers, as I just told. And also, they now have the full strength to do research. And they should think of research in the right way. When you are in a lab, for instance, in the area of medicinal chemistry, you search for parasitic drugs, right? And you think of a lead, and then you synthesize 30 compounds, all alike, and then you test the compounds against that parasite. And then there are one compound that works, the other compound doesn't work, and then the other compound works more or less, etc., etc. And you then come out with a table. And you look at the table and you see, okay, this is better than the other, but why is it better? Okay? And this is what should be looked at as well. Why is it better? What happens here? Why does this work and not this one? So, because by trying to find these out, you probably, at the long term, you probably get a better answer and a better solution. Okay? Of course, we are all searching for papers. We want to publish. We want to do this, that, and the other, and then get a paper published very quickly, because we need papers published, because if we don't have publications, we don't have financing. But perhaps there should be some space for thinking more about problems that might not get you immediate publications. This can only happen if someone thinks this through and appreciates applications for financement, not only on the basis of published papers. Right? There should be some component there. If you haven't shown any proof of that you can do things, of course not. But there should be some balance. Okay? So I'm trying to convince the students to be precise and to be to look into the true details behind the chemical phenomena.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.